Let's connect Works to QuickBooks Online step by step, from creating the app to vendors and customers synced. Everything starts in the Intuit Developer Portal. Open your workspace. This is where your QuickBooks app lives. Create a new app or select an existing one. This app is what generates the credentials Works needs. Inside the app, you'll use 4 sections: keys and credentials, webhooks, permissions, and settings. Under permissions, both scopes have to be enabled: com.intuit.quickbooks.accounting and com.intuit.quickbooks.payment. In settings, open redirect URIs and add the callback URL that Works gives you. Watch the development and production tabs. They are separate lists. Whichever environment you use has to match the one you connect from Works. Keys and credentials holds the client ID and client secret, with a different pair for development and production. One warning worth pausing on: copy the client ID, not the app ID. The app ID looks like a short UUID and is shown far more prominently, but paste that, and the authorization fails with a QuickBooks error page. Webhooks is where you'll paste an endpoint URL from Works and copy a verifier token back. We'll come to that shortly. Now over to Works, go to Settings, Account Settings, Finance, Payment Integrations, and set Payment Method to QuickBooks. Step 1 is a checklist of everything we just did, and it hands you the exact redirect URI to copy into your app. Step 2 takes the client ID and client secret. Turn on Use QuickBooks Sandbox environment if you're connecting a sandbox company, then save. Step 3 is the authorization. QuickBooks asks which company to connect. Choose carefully because this is the company Works will write to. Back in Works, the wizard confirms it. QuickBooks successfully authorized. Step 4 maps your chart of accounts, and these dropdowns are read live from QuickBooks. Proof the connection is working. Pick your accounts payable account, then your expense account. Both are required, and they're what Works writes onto every bill it creates. The purchase order custom field ID is optional. Leave it empty unless you specifically need PO numbers carried into QuickBooks. Webhooks let QuickBooks push payment updates back. Copy this webhook URL into your app's endpoint, then paste the verifier token QuickBooks generates into this field. Save, then run test QuickBooks connection. It rechecks every ID and tells you exactly what's still missing. One detail worth knowing: the authorization stays valid for 101 days and renews automatically as long as Works keeps calling the API. Go quiet for 100 days and you'll need to delete the configuration and set it up again. With the connection live, the last job is mapping. Open the synchronization tab. Run vendor sync matches your Works users to QuickBooks vendors by email address, and it has to be an exact match. Here it found 26 vendors in QuickBooks and matched none of them because none of these emails exist on the QuickBooks side. Only active vendors with a primary email address qualify. Fix the addresses and run it again. Or open the user, go to Billing and Languages, set payment method to QuickBooks, and pick the vendor by hand. Org units work by name instead. Load suggestion scores every org unit against your QuickBooks customers using name similarity. Anything at 90% or above comes pre-selected, like this one matched to Amy's Bird Sanctuary. Everything below it stays off until you decide. Review each row, tick selected to update only on the ones you want, then save. That customer ID and product or service ID land on every invoice line. That's the full connection. App, credentials, authorization, accounts, webhook, and both sides of the mapping. More step-by-step guides at support.works.com.